Between school, work, the gym, bills, family, friends, finding times to get your nails done, and trying to have an actual life, you still have to find the time to feed yourself multiple times a day. As a busy person, this can feel really overwhelming, which might lead you to rely on takeout and eating out every single day. If you're someone who would like to cook at home more, you would like to make your own meals more, still go out to eat sometimes and still get takeout from your favorite places, but you want to get to a point where you're eating at home most of the time. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you out with that. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to start meal planning, which is different than meal prepping. Meal prepping is the act of actually making the food, like you're physically cooking. Meal planning is just sitting down and figuring out what you're going to eat. You can do it for the whole week. You can do it for 3 to 4 days. You can do it for 2 days at a time. Whatever is the most comfortable for you, just go with that. You can do it on a piece of paper. You can do it on your phone. It does not matter as long as you do it. Maybe go online, try to find some inspiration, or try to think back to your favorite foods from different places. Go on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube even, and try to put a few options together, okay? And if you're new to cooking, I'm gonna tell you, write down things that you'll actually eat, because the last thing we want to happen is for you to go spend money on groceries making meals that you're not going to eat. We do not want that to happen. And I want to be very clear, because if you're already spending money on eating out and you go and do that, you're just setting your wallet on fire. Don't do that. Okay? Plan meals that you actually enjoy, that you will actually make. And don't try to make it perfect, because as someone who is busy, you don't have a lot of time. So don't try to, plan for some complicated meals that when it's time to make it, you're like, heck no, I'm not doing that. I've been there, done that. And the other thing I want you to remember is planning your meals doesn't mean that everything on your meal plan has to be home cooked. You can actually budget for takeout, which I recommend. Budgeting for it helps you because, one, when you buy it, you don't feel guilty about it because you're not taking money away from other bills to do that. And 2, it allows you to stay in reality, because who has time to cook every day? Not me. If you do, love that for you. But for someone juggling a million things at the same time, it's not realistic. Once you have your meal plan, let's say you do it for the week. That's what I do. Personally, I don't mind eating the same thing a few days in a row. I like mixing and matching my food, so it doesn't really bother me. Once you have that meal plan, you're gonna make a grocery list from that plan. You're gonna write down all the ingredients that you need to make those meals happen. Once you do that, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go in your fridge and your pantry and cross out everything you already have. If you already have something at home, you don't wanna go and buy it again, because at this point, you're just letting your money go down the drain. Just go through that list. It doesn't take that long. If it's on your phone, on paper, just cross out what you already have. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna figure out 2 things. 1, when are you gonna go grocery shop? 2, when are you gonna cook those meals? For grocery shopping, whatever fits on your schedule, do that. For when you're gonna cook the meals, that also is gonna depend on your schedule. Try to carve some time off for that. But what I want you to remember is you don't have to do it all in one go. You don't have to do it perfectly, all perfectly organized like you see in the movies where they have all the containers and everything is all perfectly proportionate, all the portions are perfectly measured. No. Do what works for you, for your lifestyle, for your diet, for your schedule. We're trying to fit that into the lifestyle that we already have. Personally, I cook on Saturdays. That's when I have the time. Most of the time, what I'll do is after work on Thursday, I might stop by the grocery store and get the things I need. Or I go Saturday early in the morning or whenever I wake up and decide to go. And then I get everything and then I cook right after. That's what works for me. Find what works for you. Once you get your groceries and you know when you're going to cook, the next thing you're going to do is to actually cook the meals, okay? Like I said before, if you only have an hour today, batch cook whatever you need the most. Start with the most essential things, and then when you have more time later, you can take care of those. And then all you have to do is repeat that all over again. Obviously, some people, their schedule changes on a weekly basis. If you have the same schedule every week, you're set. All you have to do is switch up your meals because it becomes monotone, and I personally switch up my meals every week because, you know, I already eat the same thing multiple days in a row. I don't want to become bored with my own diet, so I like to switch things up a bit. All you have to do if you have the same schedule is repeat the cycle, just switch up a few things here and there. Let's say I ate the same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm gonna go out for dinner. Remember, we talked about budgeting and planning for that earlier. That's how you meal prep without losing your mind as a busy individual. And I just want to give you a few quick tips that will also help you in the process. Make sure that you have some containers at home if you're going to cook in batches that can actually hold the food, because the last thing you want to happen to you is you're done cooking everything and you have nothing to put the food in. Like, can you imagine having to put the whole pot in the fridge because you don't have a container? So make sure that you have that. And another tip I have for you is, if you're not sure about the meals that you're going to make, like you're still learning how to make them, save the recipes ahead of time, because you don't want to be scrambling on your phone trying to find the recipe in the heat of the moment, no pun intended, trying to figure out what the next steps are. There are a lot of great apps you can use to save recipes. I know Resimi, I've used them a few times. You can save, this is not sponsored by the way, but it's a really great tool. You can save recipes from like Instagram, TikTok. They have a grocery list feature. You can save your own recipes. So you can use an app like that. I'm sure there are a lot of other good ones out there. That's just the one that I've used to help you organize your recipes and have a library of things you can refer back to, but also just Google it. Good old Google. That was a mouthful to say. Just Google it and, you know, have it ready for when you need to use it. Another quick tip I have for you is to make the process enjoyable. I don't know, maybe light up a candle, I love personally like putting on some music. I put my headphones on, put some music, or I'll listen to a podcast on YouTube. I'll listen to a YouTube video. I listen to some music. Doesn't matter. Make the process actually enjoyable for you, because that's gonna make time go faster. Because I will say, if, for example, you're cooking everything at once, spending a few hours in the kitchen, it's a lot, okay? There's heat, your back might hurt, like there's a lot going on, okay? So the more you can make the process enjoyable for you, the better it's going to be. The last tip I will give you is to clean as you cook, especially when you're meal prepping, batch cooking. Because listen, let's say you just spent 2 hours meal prepping for the week or like for a few days. When you're done, the only thing on your mind is to get out of there. I know for me, after I've cooked for a couple hours, the only thing I want to do is go to bed. Like, my back hurts, I am tired, it's hot, get me out of here, please. Cleaning as you cook makes the aftermath easier for you to deal with, okay? Not that you're not gonna have anything to clean when you're done, it's just gonna be a lot less. So if you're someone who's busy but you want to cook your own meals at home, it is definitely possible. You just need some planning, some organization, and some willpower. That plays a part. And I think the most important thing is to remember that you need to plan for reality. You're not gonna wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm gonna cook all my meals every day and it's all gonna be great and perfect. It's not. It's not. So plan for reality and don't try to do it all at once. If you're not used to meal prepping, start with like, okay, I'm gonna meal prep for like 2 to 3 days. And then you increase that 3 to 4 days, 5 to 6 days. Over time, you get better at it. If you have something else you're struggling with in the kitchen, please comment it down below, because that will give me ideas for future videos. In the meantime, if you want to learn how to balance home cooking and eating out without the guilt, I have a whole video about it. I'll link it right here. You can go watch it. I think it's gonna be really helpful for you. Okay? I'll see you there. Bye for now.